What is going on, everybody? Circling up from the mosh pit. We are here to check out Kuromiya Lucien's original song, "I for a Lie." I have not heard of this person before. I can't remember if this was recommended to me on Discord or if I just found them, but either way, I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Let's jump into it. Ooh. That's cool.
The fire burns into my skin, a silent symphony.
Nice harmonizing.
A desperate scream from deep within, the promised agony. Longing for revenge is the fatal flaw we pretend we didn't see, but it makes us kneel. For the truth is we are liars and our fate's already sealed. We'll keep cutting into skin until the bones are revealed. Now clap my wings and go on ahead. No point in flying when I'm already dead. Destroy what's left, but be careful now, 'cause I'll be back to reap what you've sown.
I would have expected that last line to rhyme with something, but that's okay. We all have our own style, and I love the visuals here. The lyrical overlays looking pretty good. From what I'm hearing now, admittedly, my other headphones are getting fixed right now, so I don't have the full surround sound experience. It sounds like the vocals, while we got harmonizing going, which sounds really good and everything, and obviously the vocals are mixed, it still sounds very raw, which isn't a bad thing, especially in certain styles of rock and stuff. That's totally a stylistic choice. It just sounds very raw. I was expecting maybe a little bit of, like maybe a little bit more echo, like a little bit of kind of a filter sound to it, but it's totally fine however you want to do it. I might also just be hearing it wrong, so.
Be back to reap what you've sown. We're dancing deep within the flames, fading. We are fading.
Yeah, so fading, like it sounded very not like off key. It sounded like it was in a minor key, but it sounded a little bit off. But then the harmonizing, we're fading, it was like perfect. So it's very interesting how Lucien went about this. I want to see. Yeah, so the mix and master was done by Pete, and then someone else did the lyrics. Okay. Well, maybe there was maybe this person just figured out how they wanted to sing to it, which is totally fine. None of this is to, be critical about the singing. I'm just hearing it and just making an observation on it. It's very interesting how it's being presented.
Within the flames, fading.
Fading. Just like it.
Trying to pretend that you can control your own end. How do you sleep telling lies that cheap? Are you ready for the show? Are you ready for my wrath? Just you try to keep on running, I'll destroy your path. Eternity doesn't feel that long when all your mistakes refuse to move on. Despite my fear, I could disappear. This is my voice, I am still here.
So I am curious if we had like a reference track or if there was discussion with how she was going to flow over this. Because I feel like this was done intentionally, the rapping part, but if I were to hear this from someone else who wanted to be a rapper, I would assume that maybe they hadn't practiced a particular line. You'll hear what I'm observing here in a sec, but
Trying to pretend that you can control your own end. How do
yeah, that you can't control your own end. Because that time to pretend when you can't control your own end. So the control your own end is going further than the first line.
fading?
pretend when you can't control your own end?
How do you sleep telling lies that cheap?
Yeah, how can you sleep when you're telling lies that cheap? How can you pretend when you can't control your own end? When I started rapping, it was very easy to kind of fall back when you can't control your own end because you're not confident with the line. I'm not saying that's the case here because she didn't falter on any of the flow afterwards. It's just I know how that setup can sound where you're like not really confident about saying that whole line within a structure. So you just kind of let it space out a little bit. But then normally that upsets everything else. But we're not seeing that here. So I like to think that all of this was intentionally done. That just immediately makes me wonder, is this the first time that we've rapped? Have we done rap before? This is literally my first introduction to this person. So
Are you ready for the show? Are you ready for my wrath? Just you try to keep on running, I'll destroy your path. Eternity doesn't feel that long when all your mistakes refuse to move on. Despite my fear, I could disappear. This is my voice, I am still here. I am still here. Destroy what's left, but be careful now, 'cause I'll be back to reap what you sow. Don't you pretend that you understand.
interesting. So I'm not sure I would have written it that way. Not in criticism. You can do whatever you want with your music, even with your rhyming. You don't even have to rhyme if you don't want to. Shoot, I listen to plenty of metal. There's no rhyming in that. So I'm not saying that to criticize. It's just an interesting way of ending it. So
Be back to reap what you sow. Don't you pretend that you understand. Burning to ashes just like you planned.
So that's a very interesting flow right there. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da, da-ba-da-ba, just like you planned. Like that's intentional. If you were to be more like, what is it? Trying to just follow the beat, maybe be simpler with it. You might be like,
Pretend that you
don't you pretend that you understand. Da-ba-da-da, da-ba-da-da-da. But going, don't you pretend that you understand. That was intentional. And I like that. I think we're getting such variety with the flows here. So again, that's what makes me wonder, how did we go about the process of sort of scripting how the flows were going to be with this song? I'm curious. I want to know.
understand. Burning to ashes just like you planned.
Yeah, burning through ashes just like you planned.
I'm burning so bright it's taking your sight. Let's meet at the end when it's over, all over. I really didn't think you would go that far. All the pain we both went through, now here we are. If you still think you can win this, I'll give you just one last kiss. This is my goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now
Interesting. So again, it sounds great. It's just I'm hearing the drums and everything, and it sounds like, especially these last couple lines, you could have gone like a second sooner and you would have sounded more on timing. But as the line went on, it's still you were still in timing. You didn't fall behind. It's just normally whenever I've recorded songs, if I'm not on top of it in the way that I kind of scripted out, it's so easy to just fall behind. But I mean, even though we started at a different spot than I would have assumed, especially when this flow kind of became more 4/4 here at the end, she still did good.
let's meet at the end when it's over, all over. I really didn't think you would go that far. All the pain we both went through, now here we are. If you still think you can win this, I'll give you just one last kiss. This is my goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Now that I reheard it, I'll just word it this way because I feel like if I keep talking about like kind of splitting hairs on things, it'll sound like I'm criticizing. So I'm just gonna say it this way. When you make music yourself and you do pay attention to the 4/4 of things, there's always a way you can be a little bit more on time. It's not bad if you're not. Especially the more experienced you are, you'll be able to learn how to kind of flow with the timing a little bit, and you don't have to do with like this every second. I only mention this because it's interesting to me to hear this, hear this person for the first time, not know anything about their musical history, and just be left to wonder based on what I'm hearing with the flows and the cadences and how her voice is controlled and stuff, like, and just left to wonder, how much experience do we have in this? I don't know. So if you're fans of her, let me know any of that information if you're so willing to tell me. I would love to know more.
Now grab my wings and go on ahead. No point in flying when I'm already dead. Destroy what's left, but be careful now, 'cause I'll be back to reap what you sow.
Interesting little like warble there. So nice guitar. Good solo. That guitar is going, okay. Very interesting. It was nice. Okay. Well, I really enjoyed that. I would want to hear more. I don't know if they've put out more music. I could definitely check that out after this. But you guys tell me your thoughts in the comments. Link to this is obviously going to be in the description. If you enjoyed this performance, support the person who made this. And that's all I got to say about that. And if Lucien, if you or someone in your team ends up seeing this, no, I thought this was really awesome. And yeah, I am very curious to see if you're interested in doing more like this. Yeah, I think obviously there's incredible talent with singing, and excuse me, the rap is very good. Yeah, I just hope you keep improving with that. And that's all I got to say about that. So, talk to you later. Bye.